Welcome back, guys, to episode 3 of our WWE 2K15 audio universe mode. And we are on our first edition of Smackdown. Kicking us off is the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman coming out to the ring, hopefully to explain his actions on Monday Night Raw, where he took out DX and Mr. Money in the Bank Hideo Itami backstage right after one of our main events, the rematch for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship between champion Dolph Ziggler and Triple H. Now, instead of explaining himself, Lesnar was just out to remind folks that he was back, and first order of business, he's coming to get back his championship. And he called out the champion to accept his challenge. And right after, Dolph Ziggler came out, but he wasn't going to accept the challenge, but instead to remind Lesnar that just like everybody else, he will have to earn his championship spot. Now Ziggler, he understands, he feels for Lesnar because DX got involved when he had his rematch for the title against Triple H at the Royal Rumble. But for him to come out and immediately want a championship match, Ziggler ain't going to accept. And before he could continue further, out come Triple H and the New Age Outlaws, who went straight for Lesnar. The champion Ziggler tried to get involved, but the New Age Outlaws, they outnumbered him and took him on, while Triple H and Lesnar were fighting at the stage area. And all this commotion brought out our Money in the Bank holder, Hideo Itami, who came to team up with Dolph Ziggler against the New Age Outlaws. And this went on until security eventually broke everybody up. And the general manager popped up, and classic Teddy Long, he made a tag team match for the main event. The New Age Outlaws and Triple H versus champion Dolph Ziggler, Brock Lesnar, and Hideo Itami. And the question is, can they correlate to take on three members of a formal stable such as DX? Can they defeat them? Can they work together? We'll find out in the main event. Off to our first match, the third in the Intercontinental number one contenders series. And this one is a fatal four-way match, again featuring former Intercontinental champions. We've got The Big Show taking on Bad News Barrett, taking on Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Now, despite that this was a fatal four-way match, the Rhodes brothers, they decided to team up just to even the odds, taking out Big Show and then working on Bad News Barrett before they themselves went one-on-one. But the Big Show, he'd fight his way back up and have the advantage over his three opponents. Later on, they decided to team up on the Big Show to take him out of the equation. Before Bad News Barrett, he turned on his temporary tag teammates, hitting Goldust with the bullhammer, only to be caught by Cody Rhodes with the crossroads for the pin and the win. So no hard feelings between Cody Rhodes and Goldust. They celebrated. Goldust was happy that his brother, he got the win, and hopefully he will get the chance to face Randy Orton for the Intercontinental title at Extreme Rules. So Cody Rhodes joins Kurt Angle and Curtis Axel to make 3 contenders. We will have 3 more matches next week, and the 6 guys, they will battle it out in the final week leading up to Extreme Rules, where we will get our number 1 contender. In our second match, the former tag team champions, the Primetime Players, were in action against another team of former champions. Well, in singles action, it was the team of Finlay, who was the former United States champion in our series, against Finlay teaming up with Sheamus. Now, the former tag team champions, they haven't been in action since WrestleMania, and the Irish took advantage of that trying to wear the primetime players down, believing that they're still rusty and they're not back in full form. But the primetime players, they fought back and overcame the Irish duo to move forward in their build towards their rematch at Extreme Rules against the current tag team champions Enzo Amore and Big Cass. In our third match, it's the second in the best of 5 series for the United States Championship between the champion Ryback and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Their first encounter was on Monday Night Raw, where the American Dream Dusty Rhodes was the special guest referee and Stone Cold got the first win. So Ryback was looking to get his win in this match and equalize, but Stone Cold proved that he had mastered Ryback's routine, his moves, and he got the second win after countering the Shell-Shocked for a stunner. So it's 2-0 to Steve Austin. Ryback now, he has to get the next win or Stone Cold wins the championship. Their third match will be on Monday Night Raw next week. Match number 4 is the next match in the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. This is the third match in that tournament, and in this one, the Bellas were in action, taking on the new team which was formed during Raw, Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Now, if you remember back on Raw, Sasha Banks had approached Charlotte backstage, and they had a conversation about this was what they were talking about, forming a team. And at the time, Charlotte, she wanted to hold on, hoping to win the WWE Women's title in that triple threat match that she had. So she wasn't sure yet, but she didn't win the championship. And when she got back to Sasha backstage, she agreed to form a team with her, and this is it. Charlotte and Sasha Banks, they teamed up and they got into the tournament hoping to become the first WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. But in their first match they have to take on the Bella Twins. Now, on their own, Sasha and Charlotte, they're exceptional. They put on great matches and they can hold their own. But together, they prove that they are a force to be reckoned with. And they took the Bellas to town in a technical. Most of the action was between Charlotte and Nikki Bella, who are former Divas champions. But Brie and Sasha Banks, they had to go as well. But in the end, it was the NXT women who got the win over the Bellas and advanced in this tournament, joining Lay Cool and Dana Brooke and Emma, who won their match on NXT. Our next match will be on Monday Night Raw, which will conclude the first round in this tournament, and we will have 4 teams remaining after that match, and we'll go into the semifinals. And now it's time for our main event, 6-man tag team match. Triple H teaming up with the New Age Outlaws against the odd pairing of WWE Champion Dolph Ziggler, Brock Lesnar, and Mr. Money in the Bank Hideo Itami. Now, fans had seen Dolph Ziggler and Brock Lesnar team up before. They teamed up at Elimination Chamber against Batista and Ric Flair. But now, with Hideo on their team, how would their team go against DX members, Triple H and the New Age Outlaws? Would they co-relate? Would they coexist? It took some time during the match for them to work together. All of them wanted to be in the ring and get a shot at DX, but after working things out, they found their groove and they worked out and they got into action and were set to win the match until Brock Lesnar lost his cool, taking out his teammates, taking out DX, and going after the ref, who had no choice but to call for the bell and award DX a win by disqualification. DX would try to team up against Lesnar, but Dolph Ziggler and Hideo, they teamed up and they took care of DX. But Lesnar was not done, taking out Ziggler with the F5 before being laid out by the GTS from Hideo Itami as revenge for his attack on Monday. So what happens now? Hideo is in the picture. He's just taken out Lesnar. We'll have to find out on Monday Night Raw, our next episode. And this concludes our first week in our universe mode. I hope you've had fun. I hope you've enjoyed. I will leave the links for episode 1 Raw and episode 2 NXT in the description below. You can go back and watch them just to recap what has gone on in our first week. I hope you guys have enjoyed our Smackdown. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you on Raw Week 2 as we move on to our first pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, and our first NXT special, which has yet to be named. I'm leaving that to you guys. If you have any suggestions for a name for our special, which is NXT TakeOver, name of the special, you can put your suggestion in the comments below, or if you follow me on Twitter at AllenCDOS, that's ALLENCEEDOS, one word. Follow me on Twitter. You can suggest there as well. And what I'll do is I'll pick the best 5, right? And from those 5, you guys can vote for which name you want for our NXT special. I'll do that. So thank you guys once again. See you on Raw. Check you out.